Shalom, shalom. Welcome, welcome, world changers. Tonight is the last night we have of reading of 1 Maccabees. So we're going to read 1 Maccabees, or 1st Maccabees, the first book of Maccabees, chapters 13 through 16. And as always, we have our fellowship and questions and answers and all that kind of good stuff. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Over there in the live chat, I see we have Kalamentos says, Shalom, everyone. Shalom, Kalamentos. The Great Deception says, Shalom, everyone. Shalom, Alan. Good to see you. Billy says, Shalom. Shalom, Billy. Welcome, welcome. And Vinny says, Shalom, everyone. Shalom, Vinny. Blessings, blessings multiply to you guys. Good to see you. So, as always, I pray that our reading tonight and our discussion tonight will be a great blessing to you, and you'd increase in your knowledge and in wisdom, in the knowledge of heaven and in the ways of God, and increase your relationship with God. Amen. So tonight, I'm going to get right into it. We got Jordan says, Shalom. Shalom, Jordan. Welcome. Good to see you, brother. I'm going to get right into it tonight. I know last night we had a lot of discussion before we got into this scriptures, but tonight I'm going to jump right into this 1 Maccabees, chapters 13 through 16. Jordan says, a great day yesterday, met the sheriff for my county who is against the mandates. Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting, Jordan. Interesting. Yes. A rare find, in such a culture, for sure. All right, this 1 Maccabees chapter 13. Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a mighty army to come into the land of Judah and destroy it utterly. He saw that the people were trembling in great fear. So he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together. He encouraged them and said to them, you yourselves know all the things that I, my kindred, and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary, and the battles and the distresses which we have seen. Because of this, all my brothers have perished for Israel's sake, and I am left alone. Now, be it far from me that I should spare my own life in any time of affliction, for I am not better than my kindred. However, I will take vengeance for my nation, for the sanctuary, and for our wives and children, because all the Gentiles have gathered out of hatred to destroy us. The spirit of the people revived as soon as they heard these words. They answered with a loud voice, saying, you are our leader in the place of Judas and Jonathan, your brothers. Fight our battles, and we will do all that you tell us to do. He gathered together all the men of war and hurried to finish the walls of Jerusalem. He fortified it all around. He sent Jonathan, the son of Absalom, and with him a great army, to Joppa. He threw out those who were in it and lived there. Tryphon left Ptolemais with a mighty army to enter into the land of Judah, and Jonathan was with him under guard. But Simon encamped at Adida near the plain. Tryphon knew that Simon had risen up in the place of his brother Jonathan and meant to join battle with him. So he sent ambassadors to him, saying, it is for money which Jonathan your brother owed to the king's treasury by reason of the offices which he had, that we are detaining him. Now send 100 talents of silver and 2 of his sons for hostages, so that when he is released, he may not revolt against us, and we will release him. Simon knew that they spoke to him deceitfully, but he sent to get the money and the children, lest perhaps he would arouse great hostility among the people, who might say, because I didn't send him the money and the children, he perished. So he sent the children and the 100 talents, but Tryphon lied and didn't release Jonathan. After this, Tryphon came to invade the land and destroy it, and he went around by the way that leads to Adorah. Simon and his army marched near him to every place, wherever he went. Now the people of the citadel sent to Tryphon ambassadors, urging him to come to them through the wilderness and to send them food. So Tryphon prepared all his cavalry to come. But on that night a very heavy snow fell, and he didn't come because of the snow. He marched off and went into the land of Gilead. When he came near to Bethkamah, he killed Jonathan, and he was buried there. When Tryphon turned back and went away Tryphon turned back and went away into his own land. Simon sent and took the bones of Jonathan his brother and buried him at Modin, the city of his fathers. All Israel made great lamentation over him and mourned for him many days. Simon built a monument on the tomb of his father and his kindred, and raised it high so that it could be seen, with polished stone on the front and back. He also set up 7 pyramids, one near another, for his father, his mother, and his 4 brothers. For these he made an elaborate setting, erecting great pillars around them, and upon the pillars he made suits of armor for a perpetual memorial. And beside the suits of armor, he carved ships so that they could be seen by all who sail on the sea. This is the tomb which he made at Modin. It remains to this day. Now Tryphon deceived the young king Antiochus and killed him, and reigned in his place. He put on himself the crown of Asia and brought a great calamity upon the land. Simon built up the strongholds of Judea and walled them all around with high towers, great walls, gates, and bars. And he stored food in the strongholds. Simon chose men and sent to King Demetrius with a request that he grant the country an immunity, because all that Tryphon did was to plunder. King Demetrius sent to him according to these words, and answered him, and wrote a letter to him as follows. King Demetrius to Simon the high priest and friend of kings, and to the elder and nation of the Jews, greetings. The golden crown and the palm branch which you sent, we have received. We are ready to make a steadfast peace with you. Yes, and to write to our officers to release you from tribute. Whatever things we confirm to you, they are confirmed. The strongholds which you have built, let them be your own. As for any oversights and faults committed to this day, we forgive them. And the crown tax which you owed us. If there were any other tax collected in Jerusalem, let it be collected no longer. If any among you are qualified to be enrolled in our court, let them be enrolled, and let there be peace between us. In the 170th year, the yoke of the Gentiles was taken away from Israel. The people began to write in their instruments and contracts in the first year of Simon, the great high priest and captain and leader of the Jews. In those days, Simon encamped against Gazara and surrounded it with troops. He made a siege engine and brought it up to the city and struck a tower and captured it. Those who were in the engine leaped out into the city, and there was a great uproar in the city. The people of the city tore their clothes, went up on the walls with their wives and children, and cried with a loud voice, asking Simon to give them his right hand. They said, "Don't deal with us according to our wickedness, but according to your mercy." So Simon was reconciled to them and didn't fight against them, but he expelled them from the city and cleansed the houses where the idols were, and then entered into it with singing and giving praise. He removed all uncleanness out of it and placed in it men who would keep the law and make it stronger than it was before, and built a dwelling place for himself in it. The people of the citadel in Jerusalem were hindered from going out and from going into the country and from buying and selling. So they were very hungry, and a great number of them perished from famine. Then they cried out to Simon that he should give them his right hand, and he gave it to them, but he expelled them from there, and he cleansed the citadel from its pollutions. He entered into it on the 23rd day of the second month in the 171st year, with praise and palm branches, with harps, with cymbals, and with stringed instruments, with hymns and with songs, because a great enemy has been destroyed out of Israel. Simon ordained that they should keep that day every year with gladness. He made the hill of the temple that was by the citadel stronger than before, and he lived there with his men. Simon saw that his son John was a man, so he made him leader of all his forces, and he lived in Gazara. First Maccabees chapter 14. In the 172nd year, King Demetrius gathered his forces together and went into Media to get help, that he might fight against Tryphon. When Arsaces, the king of Persian Media, heard that Demetrius had come in his borders, he sent princes to take him alive. He went and struck the army of Demetrius and seized him and brought him to Arsaces, who put him under guard. The land had rest all the days of Simon. He sought the good of his nation. His authority and his honor was pleasing to them all his days. Amid all his honors, he took Joppa for harbor and made it an entrance for the islands of the sea. He enlarged the borders of his nation and took possession of the country. He gathered together a great number of captives and took control of Gazara, Beth, and the citadel, and he removed its uncleanness from it. There was no one who resisted him. They tilled their land in peace, and the land gave her increase, and the trees of the plains gave their fruit. The old men sat in the streets. They all conversed together about good things. The young men put on glorious and warlike apparel. He provided food for the cities and furnished them with means of defense until the glory of his name was known to the end of the earth. He made peace in the land, and Israel rejoiced with great joy. Each sat under his vine and his fig tree, and there was no one to make them afraid. No one was left in the land who fought against them. The kings were defeated in those days. He strengthened all those of his people who were humble, and searched out the law, and every lawless and wicked person he took away. He glorified the sanctuary and added vessels of the temple. It was heard at Rome that Jonathan was dead, and even in Sparta they were exceedingly grieved. But as soon as they heard that his brother Simon was made high priest in his place and ruled the country and the cities in it, they wrote to him on brass tablets to renew with him the friendship and the alliance which they had confirmed with his brothers Judas and Jonathan. These were read before the congregation at Jerusalem. This is the copy of the letters which the Spartans sent. Quote, "The rulers and the city of the Spartans, to Simon the high priest, to the elders, the priests, and the rest of the people of the Jews, our kindred greetings. The ambassadors who are sent to our people reported to us about your glory and honor. We were glad for their coming, and we registered the things that were spoken by them in the public records as follows. Numanius, son of Antiochus, and Antipater, the son of Jason, the Jews' ambassadors, came to us to renew the friendship they had with us. It pleased the people to entertain the men honorably and to put the copy of their words in the public records, to the end that the people of the Spartans might have a record of them. Moreover, they wrote a copy of these things to Simon the high priest. After this, Simon sent Numenius to Rome with a great shield of gold of weighing 1,000 minas. This is 1,000 minas is about 499 kilograms, or 1,098 pounds. Yeah, it's a great shield, all right. Weighing 1,000 pounds, who can carry it? In order to confirm the alliance with them. But when the people heard these things, they said, "What thanks shall we give to Simon and his sons? For he and his brothers and the house of his father have made themselves strong, and have fought and chased away Israel's enemies, and confirmed liberty to Israel." Unquote. So they wrote on tablets of brass and sent them on pillars to Mount Zion. This is the copy of the writing. Quote, on the 18th day of Elul, in the 172nd year, which is the third year of Simon the high priest, in Asaramel, in a great congregation of priests and people and princes of the nation and of the elders of the country, it was proclaimed to us. Since wars often occurred in the country, Simon the son of Mattathias, the son of the sons of Yorib, and his brothers put themselves in jeopardy and withstood the enemies of their nation, that their sanctuary and the law might be established, and glorified their nation with great glory. Jonathan became their high priest and was gathered to his people. Their enemies planned to invade their country, that they might destroy their country utterly and stretch out their hands against their sanctuary. Then Simon rose up and fought for his nation. He spent much of his own money to arm the valiant men of his nation and give them wages. He fortified the cities of Judah and Bethsura that lies on the borders of Judea, where of the enemies had been stored, and there he placed a garrison of Jews. The fortified Joppa, which is upon the sea, and Gazara, which is upon the borders of Azotus, where the enemies used to live, and placed Jews there, and set in there all things necessary for their restoration. The people saw Simon's faith and the glory which he resolved to bring to his nation, and they made him their leader and high priest, because he had done all these things, and for the justice and the faith which he kept to his nation, and because he sought by all means to exalt his people. In his days, things prospered in his hands, so that the Gentiles were taken away out of their country, and they also who were in the city of David, those who were in Jerusalem, who had made themselves a citadel, out of which they used to go, and polluted everything around the sanctuary, and did great damage to its purity. He placed Jews in it and fortified it for the safety of the country and the city, and made high the walls of Jerusalem. King Demetrius confirmed to him the high priesthood according to these things, and made him one of his friends, and honored him with great honor, for he had heard that the Jews had been called by the Romans friends, allies, and kindred, and that they had met the ambassadors of Simon honorably, and that the Jews and the priests were well pleased that Simon should be their leader and high priest forever, until there should arise a faithful prophet, and that he should be governor over them, and should take charge of the sanctuary, and set over them their works, and over the country, and over the weapons, and over the strongholds, that he should take charge of the sanctuary, that he should be obeyed by all, and that all countries should be written in his name, and that he should be clothed in purple and wear gold, and that it should not be and that it should not be lawful for any of the people or of the priests to nullify any of these things, or to oppose the words that he should speak, or to gather an assembly in the country without him, or to be clothed in purple, or wear a buckle of gold. But whoever should do otherwise, or nullify any of these things, he will be liable to punishment. All the people consented to ordain for Simon that he should do according to these words. So Simon did this and consented to be the high priest and to be captain and governor of the Jews and of the priests, and to be protector of all. They commanded to put this writing on tablets of brass and to set them up within the precinct of the sanctuary in a conspicuous place, and moreover to put copies of them in the treasury so that Simon and his sons might have them. 1 Maccabees Chapter 15. Antiochus, son of Demetrius, the king, sent a letter from the islands of the sea to Simon the high priest and governor of the Jews and to all the nation. Its contents follow. Quote, King Antiochus to Simon the chief priest and governor, and to the nation of the Jews, greetings. Whereas certain troublemakers have made themselves masters of the kingdom of our fathers, but my purpose is to claim the kingdom that I may restore it as it was before, and moreover I have raised a multitude of foreign soldiers and have prepared warships. Moreover, I plan to land in the country, that I may punish those who have destroyed our country, and those who have made many cities in the kingdom desolate. Now, therefore, I confirm to you all the tax remissions which the kings who were before me remitted to you, and whatever gifts besides they remitted to you. And I permit you to coin money for your country with your own stamp, but that Jerusalem and the sanctuary should be free. All the weapons that you have prepared and the strongholds that which you have in your possession, let them remain yours. Every debt owed to the king and the things that will be owed to the king from henceforth and forevermore, let them be remitted to you. Moreover, when we have established our kingdom, we will glorify you and your nation and the temple with great glory, so that your glory will be made manifest in all the earth. In the 174th year, Antiochus went into the land of his fathers, and all the forces came together to him, so that there were few men with Tryphon. King Antiochus pursued him, and he came, as he fled, to Dor, which is by the sea, for he knew that troubles had come upon him all at once, and that his forces had deserted him. Antiochus encamped against Dor, and with him 120,000 men of war and 80,000 cavalry. He surrounded the city, and the ships joined in the attack from the sea. He harassed the city by land and sea, and permitted no one to go out or in. Numenius and his company came from Rome, having letters to the kings and to the countries in which were written these things. Quote, Lucius, consul of the Romans, to King Ptolemy, greetings. The Jews' ambassadors came to us as our friends and allies to renew the old friendship and alliance, being sent from Simon the high priest and from the people of the Jews. Moreover, they brought a shield of gold weighing 1,000 minas. It pleased us, therefore, to write to the kings and to the countries that they should not seek their harm or fight against them, their cities, and their country, or be allies with those who fight against them. Moreover, it seemed good to us to receive the shield from them. If, therefore, any troublemakers have fled from their country to you, deliver them to Simon the high priest, that he may take vengeance on them according to their law. He wrote the same things to King Demetrius, to Attalus, to Irathes, to Arsaces, to all the countries, to Samsames, to the Spartans, to Delos, to Mindos, to Sicyon, to Caria, to Samos, to Pamphylia, to Lycia, Halicar, Halicarnassus, to Rhodes, to Phasaelis, to Kos, to Side, to Aradus, to Cortina, that's hard to pronounce, Cnidus, Cyprus, and Cyrene. They also wrote this copy to Simon the high priest. But King Antiochus encamped against Dor the second day, bringing his forces up to it continually and making engines of war, and he shut up Tryphon from going in or out. Simon sent him 2,000 chosen men to fight on his side, with silver, gold, and instruments of war in abundance. He would not receive them, but nullified all the covenants which he had made with him before, and was estranged from him. He sent to him Athenobius, one of his friends, to confer with him, saying, You hold possession of Joppa, Gazara, and the citadel that is in Jerusalem, cities of my kingdom. You have devastated their territory and done great harm in the land, and control of many places in my kingdom. Now, therefore, hand over the cities which you have taken, and the tributes of the places you have taken control of outside of the borders of Judea, or else give me for them 500 talents of silver, and for the harm that you have done, and the tributes of the cities another 500 talents. Otherwise, we will come and subdue you. Athenobius, the king's friend, came to Jerusalem. When he saw the glory of Simon, the cupboard of gold and silver vessels, and his great attendants, he was amazed. He reported to him the king's words. Simon answered and said to him, We have not taken other men's land, nor do we have possession of that which belongs to others, but in the inheritance of our fathers. But of the inheritance of our fathers. However, it had been in possession of our enemies wrongfully for a while. But we, having opportunity, firmly hold the inheritance of our fathers. As for Joppa and Gazara, which you demand, they did great harm among the people throughout our country. We will give 100 talents for them. Athenobius didn't answer even one word, but returned in a rage to the king and reported to his words and the glory of Simon and all that he had seen, and the king was exceedingly angry. Meanwhile, Tryphon embarked on board a ship and fled to Arthosia. The king appointed Sendabeus chief captain of the seacoast and gave him troops of infantry and cavalry. He commanded him to encamp against Judea, and he commanded him to build up Kidron and to fortify the gates, and that he should fight against the people. But the king pursued Tryphon. So Sendabeus came to Jamnia and began to provoke the people and to invade Judea and to take the people captive and kill them. He built Kidron and stationed cavalry and infantry there, to the end that going out they might make raids on the highways of Judea as the king had commanded him. 1 Maccabees chapter 16. John went up from Gazara and told Simon his father that Sendabeus excuse me, Sendabeus was okay, let me say it again. John went up from Gazara and told Simon his father what Sendabeus was doing. Simon called his two oldest sons, Judas and John, and said to them, I and my brothers and my father's house have fought the battles of Israel from our youth, even to this day, and things have prospered in our hands, that we have often delivered Israel. But now I am old, and you, moreover, by his mercy, are of a sufficient age. Take the place of me and my brother, and go out and fight for our nation, and let the help with heaven be with you. He chose out of the country 20,000 men of war and cavalry, and they went against Sendabeus, and slept at Modin. Rising up in the morning, they went into the plain, and behold, a great army of infantry and cavalry came to meet them. There was a brook between them. He encamped near them, he and his people. He saw that the people were afraid to pass over the brook, and he passed over first. When the men saw him, they passed over after him. He divided the people and placed the cavalry in the midst of the infantry, but the enemy's cavalry were exceedingly many. They sounded the trumpets, and Sendabeus and his army were put to flight, and many of them fell wounded to death, but who were left those who were left fled to the stronghold. At that time John's brother was wounded, but John pursued after them until he came to Kidron, which Sendabeus had built. They fled to the towers that are in the fields of Azotus, and he burned it with fire. About 2,000 men of them fell, and he returned into Judea in peace. Ptolemy, the son of Abubas, had been appointed governor over the plain of Jericho, and he had much silver and gold, for he was the high priest's son-in-law. His heart was lifted up, and he planned to make himself master of the country, and he made deceitful plans against Simon and his sons to do away with them. Now Simon was visiting the cities that were in the country, attending to their needs. He went down to Jericho himself with Mattathias and Judas his sons in the 177th year, in the 11th month, which is the month Sebat. The son of Abubas received them deceitfully into the little stronghold that is called Doke, which he had built, and made them a great banquet, and hid men there. When Simon and his son had drunk freely, Ptolemy and his men rose up and took their weapons, rushed in against Simon in the banqueting place, and killed him, his two sons, and some of his servants. He committed a great iniquity and repaid evil for good. Ptolemy wrote these things and sent to the king that he should send him forces to aid him, and should deliver him their country and the cities. He sent others to Gazara to do away with John, and to the captains of thousands he sent letters to come to him, that he might give them silver, gold, and gifts. He sent others to take possession of Jerusalem and the Temple Hill. One ran before Gazara and told John that his father and kin had perished, and he has sent to kill you also. When he heard, he was greatly shocked. He seized the men who came to destroy him and killed them, for he perceived that they were seeking to destroy him. And the rest of the acts of John, and of his wars, and of his valiant deeds which he did, and of the building of the walls which he built, and of his achievements, behold, they are written in the chronicles of his high priesthood, from the time that he made high priest, from the time that he was made high priest after his father. And that concludes our reading for tonight. And that also concludes the entire book of First Maccabees. Lord willing, tomorrow we will start 4 Maccabees. And 4 Maccabees, as I said, is one of my favorites. One of my favorites. 4 Maccabees. It's an awesome, awesome book with awesome um, lessons to be learned. Lots of good wisdom there. So um, can't wait to get into that. 4 Maccabees tomorrow night. That'll be 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so any of you have any questions in the live chat? Let's see what we have. Byron says, Shalom and hello, everyone. Shalom and hello, Byron. Good to see you. Andrew says, what's up, guys? Hey, Andrew, how's it going? And Tammy says, Shalom all. I'm late, but here. Shalom, Tammy. Good to see you. Still working on your testimony, Tammy. I haven't forgotten. I'm still working on it. So yeah, doing so much every single night. So very, very interesting. Awesome testimony. I'll let you know, and hopefully I'll finish it very soon. Okay. So if any of you have any questions, feel free to. Yeah, the question, did you watch video 3? I'm working on it. I watched some of it. I didn't finish it. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. So I'll let you know when I finish it. Hopefully maybe I'll finish it tonight. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's awesome. Okay. So, just a little bit of a reminder. I know you probably all know this anyway, but this coming Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern time, Lord willing, we'll have Professor James Tabor with us. It's going to be an awesome live stream. Now, don't forget, this is not at our regular time. Usually on Sundays, we go live at 7 p.m. I'm not quite decided whether I'm going to go live 7 p.m. too. Probably, I'll let you know later. But whether or not we go live 7 p.m. on Sunday, our regular time, Lord willing, we will be going live with James Tabor at 1 p.m. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that for sure. All right. So, okay. So I don't see a whole lot of questions like the other night. There was a lot of questions, wasn't it? Okay. Tammy says, if you can get to it, watch 1 next, and you will understand 2 with some of the things I mentioned. Okay. Okay, will do. Will do. Brother Dr. Jackson Snyder there, he's very, what would you say? Cool, I guess you would say. He's cool. I think he's cool. Yeah, so Lord willing, we'll have him back as well. We'll have Jackson Snyder back as well. So we've already had him how many times now? 3 times? I think it's been 3 times, or I can't quite remember. I think it was at least 3 times we had him on here. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up with this. And yeah, I mean, this kind of makes up for, we had a very late night there the past few nights. Well, not very late, but a later night. And so this is an earlier night. So yeah, tomorrow, looking forward to it. 4 Maccabees. Hey, if you have not read 4 Maccabees, you're going to like it. You're going to like it. You're going to like it. Tammy says, I'm truly thankful to have a group I feel comfortable with to be a part of. Thank you. Hey, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure, Tammy. Absolutely. Yes. Wonderful blessing. Okay. Alan says, thank you, brother. Much love and blessings to you all. Thank you very much, Alan. Love and blessings multiplied back to you, brother. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we will begin. It's kind of a large book. It's 18 chapters, so we're not going to be able to do it all, and we're going to just kind of chop it up. But it's an amazing book. Out of all the books of the Maccabees that I've ever read, 4 Maccabees stands out to me more than any of them. You'll find out why tomorrow. All right. So Byron says, y'all have a good night. You too as well, Byron. Have a great night. Good to see you, brother. Blessings. Lord be with you guys. You guys are awesome. As always, you guys are world changers. Keep on pressing in, keep on keeping on, and keep on calling on him, and he will show you great and mighty things. He will show you great and awesome things. Just before you go, I'll give you just a short little story, just a short little story. When I used to be little, okay, like honestly, like a little boy, I remember sometimes sitting and watching my dad work. It was just it's a fond memory that I have. And you know what? We can sit and watch our dad work today. We can watch the Father work, and hey, I mean, when we call upon him and we delight ourselves in him, he will show us great and mighty things, awesome things. And he has been showing us awesome things throughout throughout all these live streams that we've been having. Okay, guys, see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. As always, I pray the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face to shine upon you, lift up his countenance upon you, and give you wonderful, wonderful shalom. Amen, amen. See you tomorrow night.